Hello students, you all are welcome to my channel. The topic that we are going to discuss today is our changing earth. Students, in the previous video, we have read about the earth's crust and the various kinds of rocks that form its crust. Students, we have come to know that earth's mantle is a region where heat is circulated and distributed, due to which intense energy is produced. We can see here the Earth's crust, as we already know, is lighter and floats on the molten mantle. The intense energy produced due to the heat cause movement of the Earth's crust. So dear all, due to it, periodic changes in the face of the earth are caused. Here we can see what type of changes are there. The appearance and characteristics features of landforms are greatly influenced by different type of rocks. We can see here in this picture. What makes our earth dynamic even though it appears quite stable and still? Well, there are forces on the surface and under earth it that are constantly at work. They are continuously changing the face of the earth. So here are the faces. Some of these forces built up the land and some destroy it. This dynamic process of the earth is modified and supplemented by climate change, sea level variations, and natural disasters like earthquake, landslides, flood, tsunami, droughts, cyclones. When the earth looks like at present is the outcome of all the change that have taken place over millions of years due to these movements. Dear students, if we examine the world map, here we can see the world map. So dear, we will notice that the eastern part of South America, this is the eastern part. It was fitted into the western coast of Africa. We can see, okay, it looks like that it was fitted here. Australia can be fitted into the, here it is Australia. It looks like that it can be fitted into the Indian landmass in the gap that is filled by the Bay of Bengal. There seems to be a jigsaw fit between the continents. Students, most scientists believe that millions of years ago there was a supercontinent called Pangaea, which in the Greek language means all earth. A German meteorologist proposed that the seven continents acquired their present shape over a long geological periods by slowly drifting apart. Students, the movement of these places cause changes on the surface of the earth. The earth movements are divided on the basis of the forces which cause them. The forces which act in the interior of the earth are called as endogenic forces. So let us come to know what are endogenic forces. Endogenic forces are those which act beneath the earth's surface. They may either be slow and gradual, like the forces involved in the process of mountain building and continent building, or quick and sudden, like earthquake, volcano, tsunami. We will discuss all these one by one. Let us come to know first of all earthquake. Students, have you ever felt the ground shaking? This sudden shaking of earth crust is called an earthquake. You may have heard about the destruction caused by earthquakes and also seen it on the television. Let us try to understand some more about the earthquake. Where do earthquakes occur? Students, earthquakes are most common in regions that are prone to faulting. Faults occur where two plates meet. Earthquakes usually originate deep inside the earth crust where pressure between two plates is so great that they cannot be held in place. Due to the release of pressure, the rocks inside the crust snap, sending rock waves or seismic waves out in all directions. The point inside the earth where the earthquake originates is called the focus. Here we can see this is the area that is known as the focus. The point on the surface that is vertically above. This is the vertically above. The focus is called the epicenter. Students, it is the point on the Earth's surface which is directly above the focus. It is most commonly used to describe the point of concentration of an earthquake. The strength and magnitude of an earthquake is measured on the Richter scale. The earthquake whose measurement is above 7 on the Richter scale can cause major damages. Let us come to know about the tsunami. Dear students, tsunami is a series of powerful ocean waves caused by a large and sudden displacement of ocean, most commonly triggered by underwave earthquakes. These waves can travel across entire ocean basin and cause significant destruction when they reach coastal area. Students, tsunamis are formed by the vertical displacement of the ocean floor. Here we can see epicenter, plates movement. So these earthquakes, typically those with the magnitude greater than 6.5 on the Richter scale and shallow depth less than 70 km, can displace large volume of water gathering. So next, let us come to know about the volcano. A volcano is an opening or a vent in the Earth's crust through which molten magma, ash, and gases come out from below the surface. Volcanoes are generally found where tectonic plates converge or diverge. The best example of convergent tectonic plate is the Pacific Ring of Fire, and the best example of divergent tectonic plate is Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Volcanoes can also form in place where the Earth's crust is subjected to stretching and thinning, such as in the African Rift Valley. Dear students, let us come to know about the fold mountains. Fold mountains are, you can see here the mountains are fold, these two mountains. Fold mountains are formed actually from sedimentary rock which accumulate along the margin of continent. When tectonic plates collide, the gathered layer of rocks may crumple and fold just like a tablecloth. We can see here that they are folded just like a tablecloth which is pushed across a table. This happens mainly when there is a mechanically weak basal layer like salt. Hope endogenic force is clear to you all. We have come to know that it occurs beneath the surface of the earth. Endogenic force causes natural devastation and physical change in the earth's surface like earthquake, volcanoes and formation of mountains or valleys. Now we will discuss about the exogenic force. Students, exogenic forces are those that act on the Earth's surface, such as wind. water, ice, temperature conditions, etc., and modify the face of the earth. First of all, let us come to know how waterfall can change the earth's surface. Dear students, waterfall are often formed when a layer of harder rock overlays a layer of softer rock. We can see here this is the harder rock and here it is softer rock. As the river passes over the softer rock, it is able to erode it at the faster rate, forming a step. This is a step like in the river bed. Here the force of hydraulic action does two things. Further erosion make the plunge pool. We can see here it is like a pool and much bigger, and this is the bigger notch over time. Now as the notch grows, here it grows, eventually there is not enough support under the harder rock, so it collapses into the plunge pool. So dear all, the process of erosion continue. This process of erosion continue, further eroding out the notch and the plunge pool. Eventually the harder rock above will collapse again, meaning that the waterfall will retreat upstream over time. As it retreats, it leaves behind a step side gorge. We can see here like this. So dear, let us come to know why do river curves? Why do river curves? Students, as the river enters the plains, it twists and it turns, forming large bend. We can see here in this picture the river takes large bends. These are the bends. These bends are known as the meanders. Due to continuous erosion and deposition along the sides of the meanders, we can see here the ends of the meanders loop come closer. Ends these come closer and closer. In due course of time, the meander loops cut off from the river. Here we can see they come closer and here they cut off. Cut off from the river and forms a cut off lake, also called Oxbow Lake. Here we can say this is the Oxbow Lake. So an Oxbow Lake is a U shape. We can see it is like U-shaped body of water that forms when a wide meander from the main stream of river is cut off, creating a freestanding body of water. We can see meander come closer, then it cut off. Now it is freestanding body of water. This landform is so named for its distinctive curved shape resembling the cow pin of an ox bow. Here we can say bow pin of an ox bow. Students, at time the river overflows. We can see when the river overflows its banks, this led to the flooding of the neighboring areas. As it floods, it deposits layers of fine soil and other material called sediments along its banks. This leads to the formation of flat, fertile floodplain. And these here you can see these are the raised banks, and these raised banks are called the levees. Students, as the river approaches the sea, the speed of the flowing water decreases. Speed of the flowing water decreases and the river begins to break up into the number of streams. We can see here the number of streams here. So many streams are there. These are known as the distributaries. the river becomes so slow. Here the speed is very slow that it begins to deposit its load. We can see it deposit its loads. Each distributary form its own mouth. We can see each distributary form its own mouth. The collection of sediments from all the mouths form a delta. So how the deltas are formed? Deltas are formed at the mouth of the river, where the river flows, or the other water body, or near the oceans. When a river carrying sediments reaches a body of standing water, it reduces its velocity, causing it to deposit the sediments at the mouth. Dear students, let us come to know works of sea waves. Sea waves also create various changes in the landforms. The erosion and deposition of sea waves gives rise to coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike at the rock. We can see here they are striking at the rock. Sea waves give rise to coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks, so cracks develop. We can see here the cracks develop. Over time they become larger and wider. Thus hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks. We can see here. So they are called the sea caves. Continuous waves action of the sea erode the rocky face on the sea shore to form caves. These are like caves. Now let us come to know about the arcs. Dear students, as these cavities become bigger, these cavities as become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the cave. We can see here only the roof. The roof of the cave remain, thus forming the sea arc. This is like an arc. So further erosion breaks the roof. Now this roof is also broken. Only walls are left. Here we can see the walls are left. These walls like features are called the stacks. So the steep rocky coast rising almost vertically above seawater is called sea cliff. The sea waves deposit sediments. We can see here the sea waves deposit the sediments along the shore and form the beaches. This is the work of sea waves. Let us come to know work of ice. Dear students, glaciers are rivers of ice. We can see here, okay, these are the like rivers of ice. We can see from here to here. Glaciers are rivers of ice which too erode the landscape by bulldozing soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. Glaciers carve out deep hollows there. As the ice melt, they get filled with water and become beautiful lakes. Here we can see the beautiful lakes are there. We can see glacier carved out deep hollows there. As the ice melt, they get filled up with water and become beautiful lakes in the mountains. Here we can say in the mountain, this is a beautiful lake. And dear students, the material carried by glaciers such as rocks, big and small, sand and silt gets deposited. So these deposits form glacier moraine. Moraine is sediment deposit by a glacier. Let us come to know works of wind. Different forms we can see here. Dear students, have you ever visited a desert? Try to collect some pictures of sand dunes, mushroom rocks and loess. Here we can see sand dunes, mushroom rock and loess. Let us discuss one by one about all these. First of all, let us discuss about the mushroom rock. Dear students, an active agent of erosion and deposition in the desert is wind. In desert, you can see rocks in the shape of a mushroom. Here we can see the shape of a mushroom, commonly called mushroom rock. Winds erode the lower section. This is the lower section of rock more than the upper part. Therefore, such rocks have narrow base and wider top. When the wind blows, it lifts and transports sand from one place to another. Let us come to know about the Lewis. Sorry. When it stops blowing, the sandfall get deposit in low hill-like structure. We can see here. These are called sand dunes, and when the grains of sand are very fine and light, the wind can carry it over very long distance. When such sand is deposited in large area, it is called the loess. Large deposit of loess is found in China. It is all about the chapter Changing the Earth. Dear students, hope you now come to know about the changes of the earth due to the two forces. Thank you for watching the video.